All right, I'm on hole number one of the Safari Sunrise Tournament in the opening round of the rookie division. I'm in my 77 account, so this is my main rookie account. This account plays in a rookie expert bracket. Everything else is about trying to do good in this bracket. So let's get it rolling. Nothing like waiting until the last minute to try and get all of my accounts done. I'm probably going to qualify. I'm going to get my odd account. I've got 9 holes in, so I only have to shoot 27 holes today. Hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. Wife came home just as I started to play. Of course. Come on. All right, hole number one. I got a plan. Have no idea whether that plan will work, but here we go. Then there is a bunch of different ways that you can go with this hole. So pick your poison, whatever you got for clubs. Try out the shots. You can do a layup on the right hand side. You can do a layup on the left, and then a rough bump coming into the hole. The wind's coming from the left, so you'll have tailwind if you do that shot. There's a max overpower hook shot on the left. There's also a shot that you can do with max curl to try and get all the way over. Or you can do the max overpower hook shot on the right. And that is the way that I'm rolling with a Titan. Titan, the king of balls. Here we roll, rolling down the street, playing some Golf Clash with Jimbo M. There's a bunch of people in Salem, Oregon that play this game. I've seen some Salem, Oregon clans actually, and some Portland, Oregon clans, and I've ran into a couple of people in Salem that play. All right. That rest. Right on the transition. Max side spin, 2 and a little, 2 and a quarter. Apocalypse, 1.7, that's 3/4, so that's about 2 rings. And then I'm going to push that power back into it. And I got all of it. Let's see if we're on the right trajectory. That'll work. That'll work. I put on that 2 and a little, and I've been eking more towards 3, but it's been rolling out a little bit. Past the cup, and I was trying to see if I could get it to stop more at the cup, but I will take that. That should give me a nice chip. No gimme, but it should give me a pretty good chip. Where I came in at down here, if I'd have been a little bit more to the left, I think I would have caught a better rollout. But anywhere on the outside over there, I've got a much better shot at getting that in than I do from distance. If you're over on this side right here, you're long iron in if you're in the fairway. If you're doing the rough bump shot, you're wood in. If you do the shot where you're trying to do the max curl on the left, you're mid short iron in. So there's max club. So I'm about mid club. Damn it. Isn't it perfect? I'm not sure if that adjustment was right. Nope. Over pulled it. My wife took our little puppy outside in the front to pick strawberries, and he decided he wanted to go for a run. Of course. See if my opponent can get it in. Get in the hole. That is a very unusual spot for me with my rapier. I'm usually either at max rapier or I'm in less than mid, and you can just run it out. And so the actual ring adjustment for where it was at, that's not an area that I end up in very often. It's a very unusual spot to be in. And I came totally unprepared. I actually don't know what the ring adjustment would be at that spot. So I did a max ring adjustment, and that was an overpull. Probably was closer to 2.6 per ring in the spot that it was at, and I double pulled it. I will forfeit. Arrgh. All right, I can live with that. Hole number 2. What is hole number 2? Hole number 2 is the big par 5. I'm bringing a par 5 ball. I'll look at the hole though. So I was talking to one of my teammates about this hole, and I was talking to Kyle. And the deal is if you're back here and you're doing the layup, as far as distance wise, bringing a big dog. But if you've got an upper developed Guardian and you've got 2 topspin on it, or a probably mid-level Guardian, it'll have better ball guide because it's only taking, if it's all about the distance of your Guardian. So as you get your Guardian up in level, so if you've got an upper developed Guardian, it'll be very similar distance to the big dog, and it has a lot better ball guide. And it'll have 2.5 to 3 topspin, so you'll be able to make this bounce. So if you've got an upper developed Guardian, it'll be a better club than a big dog. But I'm going to do a power 5 ball and go straight down this hole, trying to end up in the fairway so I can get in long iron range. Hold on. All right. Need to get the dog in the house. So he's not messing around with traffic. Traffic's bad. All right. I can play. Maybe. Maybe. All right, I'm taking a power 5 ball. Which one of these power 5 balls do I want to take? I'm going to take a berserker. I'm going to take my extra mile. And I'm either going to end up in the fairway or I'm going to end up in the sand. Yesterday, I actually went to the left and I went towards the sand, and it got caught up in the rough right there between the fairway and the sand, which is totally unusual because usually once it falls off directly into the sand. But I got lucky. I know it doesn't take all the topspin. If you got an extra mile 8, it doesn't. You're right there. But you can actually overshoot it. And you don't need to get all the way down to the end to be in long iron range. You really need to get about 3/4 of the way down. Why does this shot look like it's not going to work? Because it didn't. I mean, that looked like exactly where it was going to go. I know curl's not represented in your ball guide, but it looked like that was just where it was going to go. Actually, it looked like it was going to hit in the rough over here and not even get over to the sand. I'm going to leave the wind in, so I'm not going to put as much topspin. Okay, so I'm going to take the wind out. And then I'm going to put the forward moving distance back in. Try and hit it straight forward. Isn't it perfect? Now let's see if I'm staying to the right or if I'm going to bleed off to the left. It's going to stay to the right, and it's going to stay in. Too far. Still just a little too much topspin. Maybe 6. I think that was like closer to 7, so maybe 6 topspin. The thing is, from there with a Nirvana, you still got a serious shot at it. I'm going to do a 20% wind adjustment. And I'm actually raising this up because a 20% just does not seem like it's enough. 1.3. I'm going to do a 30% times whatever the wind is. Rolling down the edge. I'm a big fan on these par 5s. You got to respect these par 5s. I'm a big fan of bringing a par 3 ball at the minimum. Jeez, 5.1, 6.63 wind. There's max. There's max. There's mid. I'm in the 3 per ring range. So divided by 3. Right at it. Maybe a little on this side right there. So it's 2.21 rings. 2.2. About 2.2. Trying to hit it perfect. Oh, got it great to the left. Great to the left. Great to the left. Close, no cigar. It's all about that drive shot. If I end up in the fairway there, I got a killer shot of going in there with a grizzly. You can start off down low. There's several ways that you can come at the green. You can start off down low and you can use a grizzly. It's got great ball guide. It's got enough backspin to get you so that you can start way down and run it up to it. You can also bring a Saturn, or if you got an upper developed Grim Reaper, whichever one, your Saturn or Grim Reaper, whichever one has more backspin. And you can try and backspin it right to the cup. See if we can get it in, get our eagle. Move on. Eagle. And we got a serious chance for hole in 1 on this next hole. So I might make up for the dropped eagle on hole number 1. Good luck in the tournament. Hole number 3. All right, hole number 3. Hole number 3. Da-da-da-da. Right, sniper. Power. 1 ball. That's what I got on my notes, and I'm using a Kraken. The Kraken ball. Let's cut that wind down as far as we possibly can. This is a dangerous shot. And the deal is if you hit where I'm standing up, I'm trying to give myself, if I hit a great to the left or the right, I could still end up in the rough. But if I hit a 2-ring great to the left or the right, I'm in the sand or the fairway. Hopefully now I have no more interruptions. We can just play it out before I lose my cool. All right, here we roll. The deal is I want to be as far back in this hole as possible. I want to have my yellow ring rubbing up against the back there, so I've got as much room to the left or the right as possible. Dial it up to the cup. to that outside edge. Hey. 1.7, 10% wind adjustment. That's going to be about 1.9. Oh, great to the right. Great to the right. My situation on this hole is I'm either hitting it and making a hole in one, or I'm ending up in trouble. That's not as big a trouble as I could have ended up in. This is where you're trying to play in real life, is kicking you in the teeth. Kicking you hard. I'll make some notes here. See how my opponent does. See if they can have a much better result than I ended up with. Maybe. Yeah, they're like me. They're having to chip it back on. All right, here we go. What a waste of a great ball. Crappy little shot like that. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. All right. All right. Ended up coming out of the front three and didn't pick up a single thing. Really wanted to pick up hole number one. And of the par threes that you got serious shots, I mean, this one is my thought process going into this tournament. That was 7, that was going to be the one that was the one, but that I have hit some hole in ones on hole number 7 this week, but it's the only one in the tournament that I've hit hole in ones on. And I've actually been in trouble on this hole twice. I'm almost on the verge of you know what? I know that we have a great hole-in-one shot by taking that rough bump, but I'm almost on the verge of going, you know what? I'm just going to go off next to it and backspin it towards the hole and see what I can get done. Just because you can't afford to drop a shot on one of these par threes, and that really is a dangerous shot. The last time we played these holes, this was actually the hole that I was having the most success on. I was definitely playing the conservative route, doing nothing but backspin to the cup. I wasn't taking any risks on any of those holes. Hole number 4, we got to get a hole in one. We got to get an eagle here. This is an absolute must, especially after dropping hole number 1. Absolutely, positively, you have to get an eagle here. And yesterday, I did everything right, but I didn't put enough curl on it. And I hit the rough down there in a fatter part of the rough. Bringing a power 5 ball. Power 5, which one? Which one? I'm going to bring a present because I don't need that much side spin. The wind down a little. I'm going to bring an extra mile. Extra. Read all about it. All right. Anywhere on the other side in the fairway or the green is the spot. And I don't care where, as long as it's on the fairway or the green on the green side. Preferably not a long putt. Brian goes first. He also has a wind 2 ball, so I should have similar wind. And he's using a power 3, so he will have to do max overpower. And I'm telling you, I saw somebody here yesterday, it was in my odd account, that was on pretty easily with a katana, so it can be done with a lower power ball. But it's really inconsistent because you've got to hit that overpower perfect. And that was a 2-ring grate to the left. And it's worse on the left than it is on the right, because on the left, you tend to get caught up in that. Caught up. All right. Make me pick the ball again. No, I like doing that every freaking time, Playdemic. I like it. No, we like picking our balls over and over again. Why wouldn't we? 3-5. A little bit of curl on it. Hitting it 1-ring grate to the right. See if I can get my bounces right to get through that. I really think it's bad business practice of Playdemic to make us have to pick our ball every time we open up a brand new pack. So every time you have anything divisible by 9, you have to pick your ball again. So like I won't have to pick the ball again. If I pick it before I get on the hole, the next 8 times I won't have to pick it again, and then it'll make me pick it again when I open up a new pack. And that's really bad business sense, because sometimes people buy a bigger pack and they got a bunch of those balls, and they'll go out and they'll play for 2 hours, and then they'll play with that ball the whole 2 hours and then forget and go, damn, I wasted all those balls. If I was Playdemic's accountant, I would tell him, hey, people will buy more balls if they're using up the ones that they have. And the community is asking you to change it. Wow, that's winner, winner, chicken dinner. But no, Playdemic's got to do it the other way. I'm going to hedge my bets. I'm not sure if win won't be a factor from there. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. The wind did not play a factor from there. Very little. In that situation, a perfect and a great to the right would have went in, and a great to the left would have missed completely. All right, that doesn't make up for hole number 1, but at least it puts me back on track. Hole number 5. What is hole number 5? That's that mid par 3. I'm using a grizzly and a katana. Let's look at it. Just make sure. Grizzly, katana. I'm doing a plus 10%. And I'm 100% positive that that's wrong. Grizzly and a katana. Off we go. Getting some lag. Hole number 5. Come on. Maybe we can have a little bit of luck on this hole and actually get a hole in 1 here. That would make up for hole number 1. It still irritates me that I dropped that hole on hole number, or dropped that shot on hole number 1. These par 4s, if you can go out there and just shoot eagles on the par 4s, all 3 of the par 4s, and you just shoot the minimum score on the rest of the holes, you're looking at minus 15. And that's putting you in banner territory. Depending on your bracket, it may have to be higher than that in order to get a banner, but I mean, it's putting you up there in the range where you could end up with a banner, depending on your bracket. I'm going to do a 10% wind adjustment. I'm at max club. 3.7. It's 4.1 rings. And it's bleeding out just a little bit more, and I want to be on that side of the flagpole, so it's 4.1 rings. There's 4, 1. Hitting it perfect? Oh, that is total bullshit right there. That is total gravity assist. Once the ball, that's total BS. Think about how gravity works. I shot a video on this one time and posted it. Think about how gravity works. So if the ball starts off on the left-hand side and it comes over to the right-hand side in the same spot, it can whip around. That's the whole gravity assist, why we use planetary bodies for gravity assist when we're trying to get out there. It helps us build up speed. So it's very easy for it to swirl the cup once, where it goes from this side and comes over here and then pops out, or comes around and then goes out this direction. But once the ball comes past the 180 mark, and it's going, especially when it gets to the 360 mark, at that point, the hole becomes a gravity well, and the ball can't get out of the gravity well. The only way the ball could get out of the gravity well is if the edge of the cup was in a funnel, and it was like a corkscrew. So once the ball reaches the 180 mark and it's spinning around the cup, gravity has got a hold of that ball, and at that point, the ball is going to go in the hole. You're not going to get it where it's not a toilet here where it's swirling around and all of a sudden it pops back out. Otherwise, we'd all have big problems in our house. Okay? We'd have big, big problems in our house if that happened. And that's exactly what happened right there. That is gravity defying. Once it goes past the 180 mark, and that was a 360. That was like a 720. Okay? At that point, it's going in the hole. That 10% wind adjustment worked. It was right there. And, from where I hit, because I have the ability to do this, if you're using the app, you have to go 5, 15, whatever. I'm going to do a 12.5. There was a hole in the last tournament that I tried a 20, and a 20 didn't work. It put me on one side of the cup. I tried a 25, it put me on the other side of the cup. I tried a 20, it put me on one side of the cup. I tried a 25, it put me on the other side of the cup. And in the weekend round, I was like, screw this. And I did a 22.5 and was right there and made a hole in one on it. I made a hole in one on all the par threes in the back. And I went to mid numbers where I was in between and I couldn't get it right. And then I just cut them in half, and I was like 22.5, 17.5. And both times, bam, in the hole. I think it was 22.5 and 12.5. So if you're using a calculator, you can do that math and you can pick whatever number you want. So if you're like right off and you're thinking, wow, I need to add something on, you could add on a tick, you could add on 0.1, or you can make your wind adjustment and you can make it some odd number. I'm going to bring a Titan. And I'm going to bring a Kingmaker since we're trying to get Albie here. I'm going to bring an extra mile, and that bag works. And I was trying to get way out there because I was practicing a rough bump during our practice session just to see what was possible coming into the screen and seeing if the angles were a little bit different. And with the way that the wind is blowing here, I am definitely not going to do that rough bump. Some of my teammates have been talking about hole number 9. As we've been doing the rough bump on hole number 9, and it seems like it's always inconsistent. They're just going in front of it and just actually backspinning it to the hole and been getting albies. I like that rough bump there, but I also like making albies. So this isn't a bad hole to bring a low wind ball on. Like you can do it with a 2-power ball. to get out there. You may have to take a few more risks as far as power, but you can use a 2 power ball to get out there. And if you got a low wind ball, it'll help you. That was unfortunate. That's what happens when you're hitting into a fairway where that terminates and you're using max overpower. You don't have a lot of control. 3-8. That's about 2 rings. That's 4-2. Isn't that perfect? Should have plenty of distance there. Just trying to lay me up in front of it and give me a nice long iron into the hole. This is hole number 6. I'm doing a 20% wind adjustment here. I came here and tried a 0. What's funny is that in one-on-one I've hit several albies on this hole, and I wasn't doing any elevation adjustment. I was just shooting it to the cup. And then in the tournament, I've been hitting off to the left. So I added on 10%, and it still seemed like it was going to the left. And it does bleed out a little bit faster here, so I'm going to set it up where I want it, and I'm going to put one more backspin on it. I actually need to write this number down. I think I'm going to do max backspin. Because it wants to, what it's doing is instead of stopping at the hole, it's releasing. And it's very easy to roll off the backside of this green. And it's super choppy. Super. There's max. Get up towards max and let's get right at the red line. I can dial it in. Be a little short of the cup because, like I said, it's bleeding out. It's 2, 3, 3. It's 3. That's about 4 rings. It's 4 rings. Trying to hit it perfect. Oh, tried to anticipate that. Anticipation. 1 ring great to the right. 1 ring great to the right. I think that 20% is the number that I'm going to definitely want to play with. Plus 20. I want to make sure I write that down twice. I need to actually go through my notes and make up a new set of notes. I've got so many chicken scratches on my notes. I look at them and I have to extrapolate which ones were the last ones and which ones were the ones from before. And I've got a bunch of stuff X'd out and lines drawn through it. Some stuff circled, some stuff with circles with X's. Usually when I circle something, that means it's like, hey, that's the number. But then I'll like use that number a couple more times and then go, nah, I'm still off a little. And then I'll scratch it out. I'll put an X in it and then I'll write another number down. And if I have some success with that number, then I'll circle it. I like it when I look at my notes and I have a bunch of circles. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. Which is a lot, but we have 9 holes, so it's not every one of them. But some of them, there's a couple holes here I'm not doing any elevation adjustments. Partially because like on the par 4s, I'm trying to get on and 1. So I'm not trying to hit up to it. Good luck. Hole number 7. Da-da-da-da. Got plenty of time. Hole number 7. No, I'm not ready. I'm going to take a... What am I taking? I'm taking a Grizzly and a Nav. I will take the Navigator. I could bring a low wind ball here, but 1.6. I'm doing a 60% wind adjustment. Yeah, that's right. You heard it. 60% wind adjustment. I tried a 50, and I was off to the left-hand side of the cup. I tried a 60, and I made 2 out of 3 hole-in-ones. So sticking with the 60, but there is a spot down here and I need to pay more attention. I need to pay more attention to the ones that I hit a hole in one on. Go back and watch those holes because there's a spot where you set it up and your ball guide's kind of lying to you. It's kind of appearing and disappearing. And I need to find the spot. There's a spot that's just a titch farther forward where the ball guide's actually running out true. Or maybe a little bit farther back. I need to find that spot. Hopefully I'll go first. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. 3 point. It's 4.8 rings. .8 rings. Whew. That's 4.8 rings. And you are so far down in that hole, hell, you can't even get close. Oh, and that looked like it was perfect when I released it. And that's where my ball guide was appearing and disappearing like that. And I put it through so that it was through like almost a complete cut on the green. So if it came through there, I was trying to make sure that it went forward, and it was that appearing and disappearing. And usually when that happens, you're going to end up short. And I pulled it back a little bit from where I was setting it up. So I'm going to push it forward just a little bit. It's a super tough wind adjustment. Not only is it it's just because you can't get really close to your ring. So like if you have to do like a 4.2 or a 4.3 or a 3.7, it's hard to get down there close enough so that you can really get a good gauge at it. I mean, you're more apt to be, if you had to do a 3.8, you're more apt to be towards the 3.5 or the 4.0 just because it's so far down in the hill. You almost need a magnifying glass when you're doing it. And no, I'm not going to bring out a magnifying glass to do that. Although I do have a little handheld telescope. It's a little teeny telescope you hold in your hand, and it's a Walter scope. I use it for checking out computer parts when you're trying to read that little teeny stuff on there for computer stuff. Had it for a long time. Back in the day before drivers were, I mean, if you bought a computer and you needed somebody to fix your drivers, or you bought a new piece of hardware and you needed somebody to hook it up, there was a big industry for people working on your computers. It's not so much today because everything's a little more automated. But people go, I mean, I don't want to buy a new chip for my motherboard, and then I have to go look at their motherboard to see what it was, see what was available or what they could do or what they already had, or whether it was even upgradable. Side money. I used to do the NASCAR way back in the day when NASCAR first started doing the e-racing. When it first started, I did NASCAR e-racing for 3 years, and I had a smoking hot computer. I changed it out about every 6 months, and the way I was able to stay on that track was I built computers for people and did hardware stuff. So I always had top of the line gear. All right, hole number 8. How much time we got? And we're kicking it. Hole number 8. Got to get an eagle on this hole. If there's no hole during the whole dang tournament that you hit the drive perfect, it has to be this one. It's got to be. Power 5 ball. Has to be. I'm using that bag. I'm using a Power 5 ball. I'm using a present. The present that keeps on giving. It was my gift to myself for Christmas. I bought the $35 pack, so I bought a few, not a ton, but a few, just to get me through some tournaments. I have more Power 5 balls than any other special ball. I do have a few Power 4s, but the Power 4s are situational. But when you need a Power 5 ball, you need a Power 5 ball, and there's just no comparison. And they're getting smart. They're setting up some of these par 3s so that if you have a wind ball, you don't have to involve the sand. But if you don't have a wind ball, you have to involve the sand. So it's making the wind balls more valuable. See if my opponent can get up there with a kingmaker. And what am I doing? I don't need a power 5 ball on this hole. I just need a Titan. What was I thinking? I was thinking my lower level account needs a power 5 ball, but in this account, all I need is a Titan. The king of balls. And I could bring a kingmaker and cut the wind down a little bit, but nice shot. Nice shot. Nice shot, man. I'll give you a putt. If you're lucky, it might give you a chip. Yeah, that'll give you a putt. All I need is a Titan. What was I thinking? I don't need all of the top spin. Two, three, a little over a ring. I just need to hit it perfect. Hit it perfect. Now let's see if I got my distance right. I took that little bit of top spin on and I put more side spin on so that I could get through the gap a little bit better. I'll take it. That works. Get in the hole. Get in the hole, dude. Go home, ball. Isn't it perfect? In the hole. Eagle. That's what we're looking for. That's what you have to get on this hole. This is part of the minimum score. You have to get an eagle. There's just way too many people in the bracket that are going to achieve eagle on this hole, and you have got to be in that group. I mean, there's just no two ways around it. I'm just a messenger, man. Wind should not play a factor from here. And it might play a factor if you hit it great to the left. In the hole. Wind was not a factor. That works. Good game. Grizz Dog from the Cape Cod. What was that? What was that clan again? Cape Cod Dogs? I go first. What were they from? Cape Cod Drivers. Grizz Dog. They forfeited before me. And good luck in the tournament. All right, we are on hole number 9. I got enough time for hole number 9? Absolutely. Hole number 9. Hell, we're ahead of schedule. Hole number 9, here we go. So what I'm looking for in these rounds is minus 15, and in the weekend round, trying to get minus 15, minus 30 plus. But anywhere in that range, I really think, depending on your bracket, if you shoot a minus 30, you got a serious chance of winning. But if you're going to have to shoot more than a 30 to really kind of lock it in. And even then, you could shoot a 31 in 80% of the brackets and win, and you could shoot a 31 in the other 20 and come in 5th. So it's really just going to depend on your bracket. And it's coming in with tiebreaker. So, I mean, that's why I always want to come in with, I want to be up towards the top in tiebreakers. I want to be in the top 5. It gives you a much better look at a win. Let's open that up. Get that rolling. I think there's one behind it. There he is. open this one, get it rolling. Never want to play without an empty slot. You don't get club cards if you don't get chests. So you can say, well, you're just buying clubs. Okay, you got it. I'm a farmer. I am. And it takes a long time of opening up chests to get. The deal is that you can look at people's clubs and they may have like in commons. You know, when you get commons, or even like when you get rares, when you get them up to like level 6 and 7, especially level 7, you've got 200 cards. Well, it takes another 200. You know, it took you 200 to get and now it takes you 400 to get it to level 8. So it takes more cards to go from level 7 than it did from 7 to 8 than it did all of the cards that you got combined to get to level 7. So you can get your clubs to like upper mid level pretty quick. But if you're not opening up those free chests and you're not working your pin chest and you're not playing with open slots, then it's really going to take a long time to get them up. So one of the cool things that I like about Golf Clash is that you can be on a lot of games. They have those special things like the free chest, and you only get one. So you've got to get on every 4 hours and open it up. And at least Golf Clash gives you 2. So you can get on and then you're already working on the next one. So a lot of games, you know, it takes 4 hours and you get on in 6. Well, you wasted 2 hours. Whereas in Golf Clash, you could get on in 6 and the other one's already started and you just cleared a slot for the next one. I'm looking for 280 to 290, 285-ish. Could be a little less, a little bit more. Somewhere in that neighborhood. That looks like it's closer to the 280. Or excuse me, 380. 384, so that's right in my zone. I'm taking off 10% of the wind. I'm still trying that rough bump here. What's pissing me off about the rough bump is the ball guide's lying as far as distance. So you know what? I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna do the rough bump. I'm gonna make this rough bump work. Damn it. Maybe. We'll see where I'm at. I know that I've been doing a max adjustment even though I'm at mid club. It's not the trajectory going to the cup, it's distance that's been hampering me. If I hit it perfect, it's going right at the cup. But my distance has been such that I've been coming back behind the cup. I went a whole cut behind the cup and it's short, and then I'm gonna go a little bit farther behind the cup. So there's max. Even though I'm at max, even though I'm at mid, I'm using a max number. Now look how far past it I am. I'm a cut past it. So times 2.7 is 2.5 rings. There's 2.5 rings. Catch it perfect. Dead center perfect. Let's see if that sucker gets in the hole or if I'm short again. Woo! That's what I'm talking about right there. Took me 9 holes to make up for hole number 1, and I got an Albie tiebreaker. So that still doesn't make up for hole number 1, but it does put me on the track that I'm looking for, is try and get minus 15 per side, and I got an Albie tiebreaker. So I'll take it. I will take that. That's my goal round, is minus 15, and that's literally just picking up all the par 4s. So anything else that I can pick up is just a bonus. Anything else I pick up are winning shots. Those are definitely banner winning shots. Anything else you pick up, but if you can pick up the par 4s and nothing but the par 4s, you put yourself in the spot. And anything else you pick up, even if you just pick up one, that separates you from that crowd. And those are the shots that win you banners. And so trying to get 30 plus in the weekend round. But what I'm really focused on is just trying to stabilize those par fours. So in the weekend round, I've got serious shots at it. The hole that's really the only hole that I'm playing that I'm really contemplating switching how I'm playing it is hole number 3. Hole number 3, I'm really contemplating abandoning the rough bump, even though I know that the rough bump is the best way to get hole in one. The deal is there's no room for error there. If you don't hit perfect, you could be in serious trouble. And it's the only hole that could ruin my round. So you come on a hole like that and you get a par, you just can't recover from it. So if you don't get the eagles on some of the par fours, hole number 1 is not part of your minimum score. That's picking up an extra shot. Hole number 4 is not part of the minimum score. It's picking up a shot. So not picking up the eagle on one of the par fours is not the end of the world, but not getting the minimum score, especially in a par 3, is brutal. And so the only hole that I'm thinking about changing how I'm playing is hole number 3, because I love that shot, and in one-on-one, I would probably do nothing but that shot. It or the other rough bump that's behind it. I may switch to the rough bump that's behind it, because that rough bump is a little less scary and you still have a really good shot. But I may rethink how I'm playing hole number 3, but I like what I'm doing on the rest of the holes, and I am starting to dial them in a little bit. So let's see what I can get done on the front 9. I will catch you on the front 9. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe down the bottom. I'm almost at 900 subscribers. It's absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Thanks for all the support. And hopefully you'll keep watching. I'll see you on the back 9.